again. This is the Clippers' 7th straight win, ladies and gentlemen, versus the Lakers. This time, easy work, 21 points. How about Reggie Jackson? Big night, putting up 36. The Clippers shot 17 of 27 on threes. As far as the purple and gold, LeBron had 26, 8, and 4. Here's LeBron and Russ. Westbrook keeping an open mind.
Everything's the opposite of what you envisioned. Has that been hard for you, especially considering your stature, your credentials, to absorb?
What did I envision?
I would imagine some wins.
I mean, you said, based on what I envisioned, I want to know what you think I envisioned.
You envisioned coming here and winning a championship, or at least being.
Is the season over?
It certainly isn't on.
Is the season over?
No, sir.
Thank you. I had no expectations. The last 4 years of me, I've been on different teams 4 times, so my envision of kind of thinking everything gonna be peaches and cream, that's not realistic. That's not life.
You may need a better team. You got to get a win. I don't even look at this point. I don't even look at the record or the standings. I look at the next opponent and in between days, what do we not do so well? What do we do well? How can we continue to push and get a win?
Whenever he says that, do you remember 112 Peaches and Cream?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know if that was before your time. But
no. I love that song.
I went right to 112. That's not where Stephen A's mind went, though. Let me ask you this, Stephen A. In all seriousness, when you have LeBron James, you feel like there's always a chance, right? But is this season over?
Season's over. What I mean when I say the season's over is that the Lakers ain't playing past April. They'll be home in the first round. Whether it's the play-in game before the first round or the first round, they're going home. They will not be a part of a championship competition that's taking place. They're not a part of the equation. They're just not that relevant. And it hurts me to say that because we all know where I want to be in L.A. I mean, come June, I want to be in L.A. and Miami. That's my dream scenario. I ain't apologizing for it to a damn soul. That's how I feel. Ain't going to happen. Not on the West Side. Ain't going to happen. And it's not going to happen because we have an MVP like LeBron James who's playing like an MVP, but with all due respect, not necessarily leading like one, because of the roster that he's somewhat responsible to have accumulated, have assembled. He made the wrong decision betting on Westbrook. Now, we know that Russell Westbrook is having the worst season of his career. I don't think Russell Westbrook's season is over. Russell Westbrook can attack the basket still better than most. I think attack or kick, and some of the doldrums he suffered from can be eradicated. We don't know what to do about the durability of Anthony Davis. All right, I don't blame Carmelo Anthony one bit because I think he's done what you expected him to do coming off the bench for the Los Angeles Lakers. Malik Monk has been significantly better than I ever thought he would be. I'm impressed with Malik Monk. And THT, he was hurt last night, wasn't playing. But when he's in the lineup, he gives them some pulse as well. And Reeves, I like this kid as well. So there are things to like about the Lakers. Here's what we don't like. We don't like their leadership, and we don't like their culture. And I don't know if we should like their coaching. We'll go to the coaching first. Frank Vogel is a championship coach and knows what the hell he's doing. But there's something to be said about one's ability to galvanize the troops. And I think that it is clear that they are tone deaf to him. It's just obvious. That's number one. Number two, we look at the front office. You got Jeannie Buss listening to Linda and Kurt Rambis because one lady's a best friend and the other dude is a husband, and this dude has no reputation whatsoever as a coach or an executive. As a player, yes, he was a champion. But as a coach or an executive, ain't nobody listening to Kurt Rambis but her. And it makes no sense. And Rob Pelinka is Mr. Pleaser, so you're up there and you're trying to please everybody instead of lead, and it's compromised you. But number three, we get to Russell Westbrook. And after I say this, Janae, I'll hand it to you. Russell Westbrook is going into the Hall of Fame. Russell Westbrook has never cheated us. And he is right when people in the past have gone after his character because it has been unfair to him. But if folks have been unfair to him in the past, he would be unfair to be upset at people for calling him out for these sound bites that he has given in the past calendar year. Washington, D.C., I don't care about championships. I see plenty of champions that are less happier in life than me. That's not why people walking through the turnstiles to hear that kind of nonsense coming out of your mouth. You understand? That's number one. Number two, He did it earlier, just a few weeks ago. Please, do you take it home with me? Don't take it home with me. They could take that stuff home with them. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. That's the impression he's given. Last night, knowing you're playing for the Los Angeles Lakers, the most storied franchise in basketball annals with 17 championships, you are a L.A. native. You know Laker Nation. And you sitting there talking about, I had no expectations. You had no expectations playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. These are some very egregious comments on his part.
I knew that word was coming.
And this guy, and he walks out, they're reprehensible. And you go out there, and it's almost like he doesn't play like this because the effort, he never cheats us. But the sound bites he gives comes across like, I got my money. I'm good no matter what. Especially in the times we living in. You just can't say stuff like that. You just can't say stuff like that. Love Russell Westbrook. Respect the hell out of him. You cannot say stuff like that. And people are going to remember that. And I'll leave it at that.
You know, I think the hardest thing for me to digest after hearing that is, you know, I get, you know, you cash out, and we talk about, you know, Bradley Beal, make your money and not having the potential of winning a championship possibly with the Wizards the years moving forward. You make your peace, you reconcile that as, you know, professional athletes. But when you've had the journey of Russell Westbrook where you went to OKC, you sniffed a championship, that didn't happen. You tag team with James Harden. All right, you guys are supposed to, you know, analytically get over the hump and win. That doesn't happen. Then you go to the Wizards and people are coming on you for no championships. That's why you hear those things. The moment you step into LA, that's out the window, because you're playing alongside LeBron James and even AD when he's out there. And you know that those two already won a championship, and I'm someone that's a former MVP that's supposed to put them back there. And that's why it's more shocking for me to hear that. But I do think that, and as Kendrick Perkins says quite a bit, this is more of a sign that he has been broken over the course of this season. I mean, his game, it's just not been as fluid as it has been before. He's one of the best at grabbing the rebound and going and putting pressure on defenses. But the hardest thing was him reading it so far this season to know when to push and when to pull back. And then when you're in a half-court set, how are you going to, you know, be the point guard and distributor when people are guarding you on the free throw line? And then you're getting that magnified not in, you know, Washington, D.C., but you're in L.A., where even as they, you know, the Lakers lose, you're still getting a big audience and people are coming for you. That's been the hardest thing. And I would say, lastly, to wrap this up, the number one issue, I understand the coaching perspective. Ty Lue is someone that you could say maybe he would have been better to ride the peaks. No, to ride the peaks and valleys, but there's been writing on the wall with Frank Vogel giving a one-year extension. All right, maybe he's not the long-term answer. He instilled an identity. You won a championship. Now there's, you know, hangover where they're not able to sort of put it all together this year.
You can't listen. You lost Jason Kidd too, and you got to remember that. And by the way, this season, and when Russell Westbrook, the only reason I'll push back on you is that Russell Westbrook, when he made that first comment with the Wizards, he was averaging 27 a game and putting forth a monster performance, and still said that statement. So we got to remember that.
Hey, real quick before we go to break, since this season is over, I want to look ahead to next season real quick. This won't be the squad. Do you think this will be the same big three of AD, LeBron, and Russ?
If I were the Los Angeles Lakers, I would look to move both AD and Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, because of the last year of his contract and what I could get in return for the $47 million he's scheduled to earn once he opts in. And then you look at Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, I love Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is a big-time talent when healthy, but because of his history of durability issues, I would say I'd explore seeing what I could get for his greatness. Because I gave away so many people over the last couple of years, I would try to get something
You're
back.
a fan of exploration. You know, you talked about the Brooklyn Nets should be exploring, and they did. Now you want the Lakers to explore. Interesting.
Totally true.
Okay.
I
think AD is still going to be on the squad.
I do like to explore.
But I don't know about Russ.
There's nothing to apologize in regards to that.
Oh, my God. Okay, let's go to break. Just